Well, welcome back to the Motley Crew Fantasy Channel. This is going to be your Week 4 recap. This week there were some epic battles and showdowns, so let's just get right to it. This particular week, Mixon to Kittle played Master Bates, and here's the thing. Master Bates pulls this one out 123 to 118. Which is like a weird thing. Master Bates is one of the top fantasy players in the entire world. He's Goliath at the sport. His uncanny ability to navigate the fantasy management is really top notch and world class. I mean, that's the only way that he could have pulled out a victory this week versus Mixon to Kittle, who is in second place because we still have one unbeaten, which we'll get to, which is weird thing, especially since I'll probably win the championship still. It's not that big a deal. Everybody knows that I'm pretty good at this, but Master Bates is really a world-class player, and if I ever had to take a loss, it's usually only to world-class players. That's the only way to explain that. Patrick Mahomes being above average definitely helped this week. Judkins, a good pickup by Bates. That sets you over the edge. And then some of your guys were less than. By the way, let's just get it out of the way. Nico Collins sucks, and you should drop him. And honestly, if you dropped him, I wouldn't pick him up. There's no way. I think he's terrible. So, yeah, I didn't pull out a victory. Was I less than anywhere? Jonathan Taylor had a little less than he should have. But Cooper Kupp had less than he should have. But I had some guys that they underperformed. Was that the difference for you this week? Probably. Yeah, probably was. But it is what it is. You're a world-class player. Congratulations on this victory. It's probably one of your top victories that you've ever had in fantasy. Probably the top victory you've ever had in fantasy would be my guess. Moving on, Bundle Ruski versus Jaden Savis. I did pick this one. I'm going to try to wing who I chose last week. I don't necessarily remember, but I'm pretty sure I picked this one. Bundle Ruski, you pulled it out versus Jaden Savis. You are now 500. You're 2-2, 155 to 130. It was a big week for you last week. Knocking off unbeatens. In this case, knocked off a beaten. Never even won a game. But solid week for you. You just are a strong fantasy mind. You're a strong football-minded person. It's the only way you could knock off an undefeated team is Jay's gay, and you then beat a guy who's 12th out of 12 people in our league. He's 12th place. Solid week for you though. Jordan Love came to play. Bijan Robinson was out there. Quentin Johnston was out there. Tyler Warren. I mean, you really outperformed yourself this week. Congratulations. Big week for you last week. That would make me 2-2 in the projections field. This particular one, I actually took Pack Full of Love. Last week there were 3 unbeatens. Now there's one. Pack Full of Love, you were one of those. And, you're a Packers guy. And remember when the Packers were 2-0 this year and everybody thought they were going to win the Super Bowl? Their defense after the first week, like, man, these guys are all world. Do you guys remember that? I do too, because they suck because they're 2-2. And I don't see it looking up anytime soon. I believe they're 2-2. I think that's accurate. Here's the thing. We all knew Skynet was a heavy player. Whether it was through manipulation of software or whatever, but somebody threw a malware into his system, and it wasn't good, but they obviously spotted the bug, and they must have downloaded the Norton antivirus, and they got it figured out over there at Skynet. He pulls it out 154, 123. Pack Full of Love. I know it's your birthday, or you just had one the other day. Happy 53rd birthday, as I'd stated previous, 53 or 54. You look good for your age, though. You know what I mean? So that's pretty solid win in the game of life. But you did not win this particular week, and I missed that one because you can't do your job. Thank you. So Django Unchained, Seth, you finally came up with something that made sense because your last name didn't make sense because that's not how his name was pronounced. I like what you did there. that tells me, you're in fantasy relevance. You did pull out a victory. I think I picked you this week. I think I did. You beat you won 106 to 104 to Brown Kids, and I think that this could be a solid year for you. You're 3-1, Brown Kids. You're 1-3. I don't know who's shocked by that. I know I'm not. You may be. Your friends at school may be, but it's what it is. As a matter of fact, I doubt anybody at school even knows this because it would be kind of embarrassing. You know what I mean? Because it's not good for you. And Seth's obviously good. He's 3-1, and I don't remember. I think he won it last year. Nobody remembers. Last year was so long ago. Nobody remembers those things. But you lost 106 to 104. Who was your big performer this week? Amari Hampton, which I think was kind of expected because he has no real second running back to split carries with. Najee Harris is out. Good pickup. Good for you. You won that one. That would make me 4-1 because Birthday Boy can't do his job. Then we have Little Penix versus Son of a Besh. Son of a Besh, you are undefeated. You were the only undefeated team in the entire league, 127-93. It's kind of a blowout, really. If we're just doing the math there, real blowout, 34-point win. That's good for you. Let's see who Josh Jacobs definitely helped, but you also got screwed. You would have got beat worse, Little Penix, if they had played Josh Jacobs in the finals or in the overtime period there. So it leads me to believe that maybe he's not really good. He's just out there for show. Like, hey, you're pretty flashy. You should just go out there and we'll run him all game. But if we have to have the win, we're going to put in this other guy nobody's ever heard of. Otherwise, it would have just been a landslide victory. No offense there. I did project that one, and, that's just what it is. Sorry about your luck on that deal. So at this point, I've only lost one game, and then we have Young Ho versus Kick and Bass. Kick and Bass, I did project you to win last week, so that was a pretty solid picker. You won by 25. You're a top fantasy talent. You're 500 now. I know your draft started off rough. It was real terrible. And your first couple weeks were real terrible, but look at you. Putting this streak together. 2-0 the last 2 weeks. Look at that, man. It's like the past never happened. It's like you didn't even lose those first 2 games. I don't know what's going to happen this week. I haven't looked at it yet. But Young Ho, you're 0-4, and that's not good. That's bad. I would imagine that you also don't talk about this at school. I don't know. As I state every week, I think you got a future in MMA. This thing is probably not your thing, and that's okay. Because everybody's got to be good at something. You're good at pretending like you read a lot of books that your mom and dad signed off on, and MMA, but probably not that good at fantasy and maybe other stuff. So, that's just what it is. Congratulations, Harrison, on the victory. I mean, you're really coming along. Last week's high score was Skynet. No. Bundle-a-Rooski, you were the high man last week. As I said, solid week for you. And we'll get back to you with the rest of this for the week 5 projections or predictions, whichever one it is, later.